Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to NDISCO'S Village Meeting Podcast. This is our episode number 4, series 2. How you all doing? I hope today's a good day for all of us. The sun is up in some areas, and whatever the weather you find yourself under, I hope you are just making the best of it. Today, we are going back to African society and culture discussions that we normally have. Most of the time, um, we conduct what I call village meetings. That is what the nature of this is, with our African culture. And then I will bring out the summary here. And in some cases, we have people coming live to talk. And in accordance with what I shared and I promised this year, I may not show my face, but there's a picture of what I look like everywhere. But you will hear my voice as usual, and you will also see um, few pictures of what I am talking about, including the wordings to some, bullet points as take home piece. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to get just not the auditory sense going on here, but also the visual aspect so that you see, especially for my young ones that have no experience or experiences in some aspect of the items we talk about. This is for them a way of recognizing what they already know or learning anew what is being talked about so that the next time they see or hear about that, that wouldn't be like a strange topic for them. So today we are continuing with that cultural aspect of our traditions. Remember when we talk about the podcast on African society and culture, we're talking about all about languages, food, clothing, and traditions, or the traditional aspects. So today, we're going to talk about walking. Walking with our two strong feet, or weak feet, as some or legs. It's part of our tradition. Why? Because if you look back to the olden age, to our ancestors, they walked a lot. They walked everywhere. Some of us have our parents telling us how they walked miles to schools and to churches, to events. Because in the beginning, there were no cars, there were no trains or even aeroplanes. Bicycles were rare. Um, as time went on and civilization, exploded some more, we found ourselves not walking as much anymore and getting into, the luxuries of these vehicles that take us from point A to point B, no matter how short a distance they are. But then, when you go back to that, walking has become one of those things that when we say go back to basics, we are not going back to basics. And we're not telling you something that you're done already know. It's just to remind us what we do. And for me, I put into practice what I talk to you and to experience that. And this is part of what has been and part of what I do, maybe not on a regular basis because of time, which is not an excuse, but because of events, the tasks on my desk, which is also not an excuse. So I have strive now to put everything in perspective and do a lot of that working. And I am telling you that the result is huge. So when we talk about working, we know that our forefathers or our grandparents in Africa did a lot of that to the farms, to everywhere. And they didn't go to the doctors that often unless the disease state that is beyond their control kicked in. But the lifestyle they lived a lot of that included walking, and the benefit was that they were strong at all the ages, and they were able to not fall sick easily, fall sick to the extent that it's just something that the herbs in the bushes could, alleviate. But now it gets serious because of the advent of all these carriers, from one point to the other, that we now becoming couch potatoes. It's hard to even walk. Some people get up from the couch to walk to get the remote control. That's how bad it has become. So let's talk about that walking today, also being part of our culture and part of the world's culture. And this is not from me. Again, I tell you that I go in and look at what other people are saying because I like the schools of thought on topics. So I go and I see what they're. So again, my source is a global Google, looking into the global aspect of what people say. It's a Google global search. So let's talk about walking as a form of routine exercise. It's been said that walking has been called the ultimate exercise. In many studies, you go look into it yourself. It has powerful health effects, also studies have shown. And the good thing about walking is that it doesn't matter the age, whether you are actually, when we have new ones in the house, we look forward to the next event, which is they're crawling and then they're walking. When they walk, it's a big deal. So walking is good for them, and walking is good for that 100-year-old a man or woman, who wants to get all about. And it doesn't matter whatever fitness level you are. Just take an example in the hospitals. The moment they see that you are able to really uh, find stability a little bit, they encourage you to walk. Take a walk, even if 10 steps away. So this is very important. It is free and does not cost a dime. Or now, I don't want to knock those who go to the gym. Some of us have paid for gyms that we never went to. Our companies have paid for gyms that we don't go to. All our companies have gyms in the facilities that we never use. But the essence there is that some people pay a lot of money a year to get there, or to find somebody who will help you exercise. But you find out that even with that, you're not fulfilled, or it doesn't do much. But some people have really gained from that. So don't let me dissuade you if that's the way you want to go. But I want to remind us that this is free. Walking is free. Whether you are working in the house or indoors or outside, it is free. It doesn't cost you anything. It is done at your convenience and not according to some facilities timing. What do I mean by that? When you go to, for example, LA Fitness or Planet Fitness or any of those gyms with those big name or small names, there is a time they open and the time they close. We see some of them, sometimes we are rushing to go before it closes, and then some days they are not open. Maybe Saturday, Sunday, in some cases, some of them are not open, or some weekdays they are not open. So that restricts you to what you can and cannot do with even the payment you have made. So, but walking is anytime, any day at your convenience, is free. You decide how much to devote your time to. Maybe it's 15-minute walk, 30 minutes walk daily. In my experience, I have graduated mine. When you start 15, tomorrow you'll be really encouraged to do 20, the next time 30. I was telling somebody the other day that I walked for almost 2 miles without realizing I have walked that far. And the other day, I was telling also my sister that I walked 2 hours. Then I realized, oh my goodness, I'm going to be sore coming or finding the way to come back. But the good thing is that sometimes the walking areas have areas where you sit and then you go. So take your time, decide what you want to do, start gradually, and then adjust as you can. Because some days you may not have the opportunity to walk, but some people do that daily as well. You decide at your own pace. Do you want to do fast walk? Do you want to slow walk? Whichever way you want to, provided you're moving. The essence there is to move. Movement is the key. Okay. Um, Having said that, we sometimes decide we want to work with people, and it's great. I have seen um, friends that are working groups. They tell themselves or they agree on what time of the day or night or whenever they work. I have seen a team of working moms when the children are put in school, they work. Or when their spouses are home or significant others are home, they then take a walk together. So you can work with someone. Some people have found that to be great in talking to somebody while they are doing that and chatting, even with your significant other spouses. Some people decide to work alone. Working alone also means that you are comfortable in doing that by yourself. And some people want that solitude for that time. They want that some people use it as alone time. So whichever one you decide to do, it's all okay. So let's talk about the benefits of working. Okay. Um, there are so many of them. I decided let's do just the 16 benefits that I think encompasses all others. Your move improves. You see, I mean, I talk about positive vibes a lot on my podcast, and when I dance, I say it's part of my positive vibe. Walking also will give you that improvement, will give you that positive vibe. You walk out in the sun, the breeze. You see your energy go through the roof, your countenance, the adrenaline in you, those good hormones, they start stirring in you. That is one of the big thing about walking. Your sleep quality at the end of the day is, really cannot be over, exaggerated because you really sleep like a baby, like they say. Those chronic diseases, they take a back seat. For example, those who have arthritis and all that, you see that it alleviates some of those joint pains as you go, improves your heart health. Those of you who have some kind of heart diseases also, you regulate how you walk, but it helps really the circulation, cardiovascular and all that. That's what the research has said. Some think it protects against type 2 diabetes and cancer. Many good doctors will always encourage you to walk if you don't have any other form of exercise you do. So hack to that. Some people have used it as or resulted walking resulting for them weight loss because calories are burnt. You go that. It increases your muscle power. Again, this is where I have said to people, do the best you can because each step you take really tones you, and it also um, challenges your endurance. Like I said, sometimes you walk more than you wanted to walk. In my case, I've done that several times, and coming back is how you find that you have some endurance that you don't even know you have, because now some part of you is aching, but you're walking back, hoping that you get to your destination. Improving bowel movement. This is where all those constipation or dysentery or whatever it is that you have may come to disappear because this improves the maintenance of the equilibrium in your body and also your digestive system. And so things in your body work as they should work. Your bones are strengthened. And just for those of you that started having bent waist, the walking really, and it's been proven to straighten the core of your body so that you stand up straighter than, that your body is working against. Again, look at that and read more about those. Again, we've talked about digestive. Um, some people who are not hungry or they eat too much, this is where, again, your walking will help that equalize everything in your body or brings that equilibrium to helping your digestive system as well. It supports longevity. Um, let's take example of the Chinese. They do a lot of this type of exercises, walking, stretching, and all that, and most of them live longer than if they're not don't have any disease state. In addition to uh, what else is going on in their lives, they live long. Boost your immune system. um, a whole lot of things go on in our system if we don't really check them. Sitting at a place, not moving, encourages the enzymes and diseases in sorry, germs in our body, or to really play their games, that is untoward good health. So what am I saying? If you want your immune system to really function as it should be, uh, walking has been recommended as one of those that will boost that. Yes, some of us decide we want to also add multivites and all everything, the food and all that. But walking also helps a whole lot. Enhances creativity. I cannot tell you how many times when I'm walking, ideas come into my head. um, I was joking with someone that there are two places, either under the shower or walking. Ideas flow in. And some of us now, when we walk, have paper and pencils in our pockets, or the good old telephone recording, so that you don't forget those things that just came into your brain at that time. So I do a lot of my creative thinking when I walk. Delays varicose veins emergence. Yes, because if you look at some people, again, the flow of blood within the arteries that are not holding strong anymore, that are sagging due to age or anything, you will see the varicose veins. But as you walk and help circulation, that also delays, if not eliminating, varicose veins. Brain function, we've talked about it again. Walking helps your senses, the senses of sight, smell, recognition, and a lot, and all that. It comes with also your brain activities. So when you walk, I think those things really start walking around with you. Alleviates joint pain. We've talked about that before. For those who are having, especially as you get old, those bones and your joints begin to really tell their own stories. So with walking, it really helps. So at this point, I think we've shared a whole lot about walking. But I will also share that we need to have some ideas of what not to do or what to do to help this walking. We need to choose comfortable shoes when we walk. It's very important to wear comfortable shoes, not slippers. Some people walk in slippers, but if that's what you can afford, that's fine. But also know that sometimes those can be slippery. So to avoid any mishap, wear comfortable shoes. Walk at your own comfortable pace. I have heard people say, oh, if you don't walk fast, then you don't get the exercise, or if you walk too slow, you got the exercise. No, the moment you are moving, move. It doesn't matter how fast or short paced. Um, walk at your own comfortable pace. Take breaks in between if you have to. Like I shared with you that um, when I walk longer distance than I had anticipated because of I carried away because of the good weather or something. Good thing that the areas I walk in have built in, the community thought about building in the benches or rest areas where you can just sit. And that really helps. So take a break in between. Some say if you have not sweated, you have not exercised. That's not true. Sweating has its own advantage. Yes, you sweat, meaning that your system is now your blood circulation is going on very well and all that. But remember, even if you didn't sweat, it's good to sweat. But even if you didn't sweat, the muscles are still turning. Everything else is working as it should be. So do not overexert exert yourself. When you walk, I encourage you to choose safe, well-maintained routes. I always, as a female, not working most of the time with a male person beside you, please choose a safe and well-maintained route. First of all, a safe one, you look around you, walk when there are many people around in case anything, any mishap, somebody will see and help. Make sure it's well-maintained roads because you don't want too much potholes. You can mistakenly, step into a hole or a cracked pavement, and then you hurt yourself. We don't want that happening. It's good to listen to music, a podcast, or do meditation as you go. There are some listening type. I do that. I love it. I tell you that I share with you that some praise music that are an hour or 2 hours long will take you there and back, and sometimes you don't even know when you start dancing because of how carried away you are. So if you like, if you're one of those, you can do it in quietude. But if you want to just have some kind of company with you, listening to music or podcast or anything else, or a book, there are some books now that are that are on can be loaded onto your listening device. So to do those along the route, I encourage you to do some squats, lunges, push-ups. The route that I personally go to have all these like bridges or some erected, strong steel areas that you can do squats, do some push-ups along as you go, and that really introduces a little bit of routine or sorry differences or changes in a monotonous walk. So if you do all this, it gives it a little bit of, color or twist and really more fun to that instead of it being monotony. Find something. Some people have device or, like fun so that you don't think that you're walking, but you're walking. Some people have decided, like, we do with kids. Oh, how many red cars can you count before we get to where we are going? Or how many white cars? How many things start with A that I can identify on my route? Some things like that you can do and keep yourself busy. One of the things I want to also add is for you to wear bright colors or something on you that will, give somebody else the notion that somebody else is walking by. This is because of people who skateboard on the sidewalk, bicycles on the sidewalk, and some motorists also when you're crossing. So it could be in your shoes, having some kind of light up stuff, or a stripe on your clothing that will reflect light on anything coming, or people to be able to see you. Especially when you do walk, some of you like to walk in the evenings when the sun is a little bit out. You are encouraged to carry flashlights so that somebody will know you are coming and not bump into you. So this is what I have for walking. It is great to um, to walk. It is really an awesome thing to walk. And for those of you who find um, that it is easier than going to the gym to pull on those steel bars and pull, lift up those heavy machines, or even walk on the treadmill, um, um, run. Do that if that makes you okay or happy. But some of us, I can't run. I don't want to run. But so that's what they like. But walking is, and then um, like some of you have seen me present dancing, and most of the time show you also some of my dance steps that are not really great, but I have fun doing them. So this is what I wanted to share today in our podcast. Again, this is Dr. Maslina and M.OPARAOJI, your hostess, and I thank you for listening. Um, take a walk and let us know how you feel. I thank you for those who, or to those who have keep telling us the topic they want us to talk on. You're very much appreciated. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to my podcast, and they can also now be found on YouTube. And also, if you just want to do audio, you don't want to download the video due to data issues, you have a choice now, either to just listen or to also listen and watch. Don't forget to also share stars if you can, and catch me on Facebook, catch me on TikTok and Instagram, and also on YouTube. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye bye.